excellence as it marked its 23rd convocation ceremony, reaffirming its commitment to uninterrupted world-class university education. Graduating students adorned in their convocation regalia and accompanied by their loved ones. A key highlight of the event was a convocation lecture titled Interrogating the Potentials, Prospects, and Challenges of AI as the New Order in Higher Education, delivered by the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Olakunle Oluseye Nafiu.
We must pursue public-private partnership for connectivity and AI-related research, invest in solar-powered computing, adopt cloud-based strategies, establish regional computing centers where universities pool resources, and so many other innovations.
The ceremony also witnessed the successful graduation of over 800 first-degree students and more than 180 master's and doctorate students. A total of 67 students earned first-class honors across several colleges, including the College of Health Sciences, College of Engineering, College of Law, College of Arts and Social Sciences, College of Pharmacy, and others.
Can we applaud him? Congratulations to the college officer of Alhaji Abubakar, General Salami Abubakar College of Engineering, Dr. Victor Obert. Please, can we appreciate him?
The event featured dance presentations, awards presentations, Some of the graduates expressed heartfelt joy at the completion of their academic journey, while parents and loved ones celebrated with visible pride.
I feel elated to see that a day like this that we're yearning from came to pass.
I want to thank God. That's all been God. Without God, this wouldn't have been possible. Secondly, I want to thank my parents, my lecturers, my supervisor, and also my friends. All the collective effort. It's not just me. God, family, and friend. That's all.
To God be the glory. Well, it's a success story today.
I'm happy and I appreciate my parents for what they've done for me, my siblings, everybody. I thank God mostly for He has come through for me in every means.
The joy of every mother to witness that the children being graduated, and I'm happy for at least God see her through for the past 4 years.
Igbinedion University has raised scholars, great men and women, and I appreciate my father-in-law for deeming it fit to put the daughter in this school, and it's a win-win to all of us.
Festivities continued outside the law auditorium, where beautifully decorated tents hosted joyful celebrations between graduates and their families. From Igbinedion University, Okada, Joy Obaisiagbon, ITV News.
Moving on, the University of Benin on Saturday conferred postgraduate degrees on 1,790 students during its 51st convocation ceremony held at the Akin Deco Auditorium in an atmosphere of celebration and academic pride. Oluwapelumi Abioye reports that the colorful ceremony had in attendance the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, delegates from various universities, academic staff, families, and well-wishers. She reports.
Leading the ceremony, the Chancellor of the University, His Royal Majesty Professor James Ayat, said the talkative congratulated the graduates and encouraged them to uphold the values of integrity, discipline, and service to humanity.
I call on the federal government to take more serious actions to consider the need to develop indigenous aerospace technology as one of the ways to tackle incessant banditry and cases of insurgency in parts of the country.
The Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba Omorige, SAN, highlighted the university's achievements in research advancement and postgraduate development.
Join the Chancellor, the Pro-Chancellor, to heartily acknowledge, congratulate everyone who is part of this historic event, and enjoin you to continuously strive for excellence in your future endeavors.
delivering the visitor's address on behalf of the President of Nigeria, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Wunari Georgiou, urged graduates to become ambassadors of innovation and national development.
I am especially pleased with the progress recorded in this university under the leadership of the Vice-Chancellor. The opportunities before you are vast, but they demand courage, innovation, and unwavering commitment to service.
Some of the postgraduate degree recipients, including Deputy General Manager, Programs, ITV and Radio, Dr. Sonny Duke Okosun, Mrs. Adesuwa Osawagi, and Favor Osaro, expressed that their achievements reflects resilience and hard work.
I'm very grateful to God Almighty for making this possible. And I'm also very grateful to my wife and to the management and staff of ITV Radio, especially the ASML Benin, for providing the platform for us to be relevant. Thank you very much.
I want to thank God Almighty for making it possible for me to achieve this academic feat.
I feel very elated. I thank God for the grace to be able to achieve this.
From Benin, Uluwakbalumi Abioye, ITV News.
In another report, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has forwarded 32 additional ambassadorial nominees to the Senate for confirmation, days after submitting an initial list of 3. In 2 letters to Senate President Godswill Akpabio, the President requested the expeditious confirmation of 15 career and 17 non-career ambassadors, including 10 women across both categories. Among the notable non-career nominees are former INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu, former Enugu Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, former Ekiti First Lady Erelu Angela Adebayo, former Lagos Deputy Governor Femi Pedro, and former Aviation Minister Femi Fani Kayode. The career nominees include diplomats from Abia, Taraba, Adamawa, Kebbi, Bayelsa, Ebonyi, Ogun, and other states. The ambassadors' designates are expected to be posted to strategic nations and missions, including China, India, South Korea, Canada, the UAE, South Africa, and the United Nations. Last week, the President sent 3 earlier nominees tipped for postings to the UK, USA, or France. More ambassadorial nominations are expected soon. Now, drug abuse has been described as one of the vices militating against literacy in Nigeria. Rotary Club of Surulere South District 9112 said they decided to put up a 10-kilometer marathon race to draw attention to the dangers of drug abuse to literacy in Nigeria. Agboje Korea has the details.
Athletes from across Lagos gathered at the Teslim Balogun Stadium at Surulere to run for literacy and against drug abuse. President Rotary Club Surulere South District 9112 Rotarian Muhammad Fak Abu, Project Coordinator Rotary Club Surulere South Eloho Abulime, and the Chairman Surulere Local Government Area, represented by the Vice Chairman Dosomu Adewole, advised young people to stay away from drugs and concentrate on their education.
Development of the society and the nation at large. That's why we have chosen literacy as one of our core areas. Drug abuse, it destroys futures, it destroys the community, and is a destruction of dreams and aspirations.
We looked at it that drug abuse is one of the reasons why literacy is affected. So we looked at it that while addressing literacy, we can also address drug abuse.
Stay away from drug. Instead of engaging in drug taking, use all you have to improve on yourself, to improve on the community, to improve on the society.
At the end of the competition, Promise Omoru came first in the male category, while Eriele Olude came first in the female category. Some of the winners comment.
We need to fight against drug abuse here in our country, Nigeria.
I encourage them not to take any drug because it's not good for their health, for their body, because a lot of things may happen to them when they are taking those things. I want to advise them to stop taking it.
First, second, third, and fourth positions from both categories were presented with medals and checks, while the first 100 participants were presented with medals and certificates of participation. From Lagos, Agboje Korea, ITV News.
Now, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has urged lawmakers in the National Assembly to pass the reserved seats for women bill into law. Mrs. Tinubu made this appeal at a dinner she hosted for the members of the National Assembly, led by the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, at the Presidential Villa. As ITV State House correspondent Iharu Atta reports, Vice President Kashim Shettima also drummed support for the bill.
This is a special dinner hosted by First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, which had Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, principal officers of the National Assembly, and other federal lawmakers from both the red and green chambers in attendance. The aim was to galvanize support for the reserved seats for women bill and other related issues. Among those present were Vice President Kashim Shettima, who was the guest of honor, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma, and the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Nantawe Yilwata. Also present is Honorable Mosede Igbenedion, member representing Ovia constituency of Edo State in the House of Representatives. In her address, the First Lady expressed delight at the gathering, describing it as a reunion with familiar faces from past collaborations on national legislation. Mrs. Tinubu highlighted recent national struggles, particularly threats to children's education and basic needs like food, clothing, and shelter. Exacerbated by security situation, she warned that such deprivation exposed vulnerable youth to exploitation by exclusionist groups promising better lives. Turning to lawmaking priorities, the First Lady spotlighted the ongoing push for women's representation through the Special Seats Bill, noting interest from local and international advocates. The First Lady praised global examples where gender measures enhance governance inclusivity and urged Nigeria to adopt similar progressive steps.
I trust in your collective wisdom, your experience, and your patriotism to steer the nation towards a solution that is constitutionally sound and politically workable. Everyone, either male or female, should be given the opportunity to contribute to our shared humanity.
Vice President Kashim Shettima and Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, both former lawmakers, called on the lawmakers to ensure the passage of the bill, as it will go a long way to ensure gender balance and improve the Nigerian woman.
The true essence of democracy manifests not only in respecting the legislature, but in appreciating the indispensable role each arm plays in the architecture of governance. It shines most brightly where there is alignment of purpose.
But I believe with this dynamic, more dynamic than the 9th Assembly, I believe this dynamic 10th Assembly will finish the job.
Responding, Senate President Godswill Akpabio assured that the lawmakers will do all to ensure the best for Nigerian women, while promising to give the bill a positive attention. From the old banquet hall, Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja, I'm Iharu Atta, ITV News.
Moving on, in a bid to modernize and upgrade the Legal Practitioners Bill 2004, President Bola Tinubu Tuesday sent the Legal Practitioners Bill 2025 to the Senate for legislative action. The bill, as read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, seeks to replace the outdated Legal Practitioners Act of 2004 with comprehensive reforms designed to regulate and uplift professional standards across Nigeria's legal sector. National Assembly correspondent Charity Tanko has more.
Senator Akpabio highlighted that the bill focuses on protecting public interest, promoting the rule of law, and enhancing public trust in legal services. It introduces key principles such as integrity, confidentiality, and ethical conduct as the backbone of legal practice.
I am pleased to transmit to the Senate for consideration and passage into law a bill proposing repeal and reenactment of the Legal Practitioners Act. The Legal Practitioners Bill repeals the Legal Practitioners Act, Cap. L. 11, Laws of the Federation 2004, which was enacted into law in 1962. The draft bill introduces a new legal framework strengthening the regulation of the legal profession in Nigeria and providing necessary reforms to enhance professional standards, discipline, mechanisms, and public confidence in legal practice in Nigeria. The Senate may wish to note that legal practitioners play a crucial role in upholding justice, the rule of law, and access to justice. However, evolving challenges with respect to regulating professional conduct, licensing of legal practitioners, as well as establishing appropriate disciplinary measures and legal practice standards, necessitate a modern and comprehensive review of our legal service framework.
The Senate therefore referred the bill to its Committee on Rules and Business for further legislative action. From Abuja, Charity Tanko, ITV News.
In another report, over 14,000 students from various facilities and faculties of the University of Benin have convocated with flying colors in various disciplines. The Chancellor of the University of Benin, Professor James Orese Ayase, and other senior officials of the university's governing council urged the students to go out and excel. Wellington Akodeja reports.
Akindeka Hall of the University of Benin was filled to capacity as the convocating students filed out in large numbers, accompanied by their family members and friends. The Chancellor of the University, Professor James Orese, who congratulated the students, said 51st convocation is to ensure that the students are disciplined in their endeavors.
By the powers conferred on me as Chancellor, I hereby constitute this assembly as convocation of the University of Benin for the award of prizes, degrees, and diplomas.
The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Edoba Omoige, thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his immense support for both human capital and infrastructural development of the institution and international donors for strengthening and sustaining academic excellence.
I want to thank very especially the Chairman and Pro-Chancellor of this university, Professor Maru Shuaibu, and members of the Governing Council, as well as the management of the university, and of course the Senate of the university, for the sacrifices made constantly to ensure that the wheel of progress of this university is not hindered in any way.
Earlier in a convocation lecture tagged Making Our University Great, Professor Egusa Usagai said the students should go out there and explore, as the University of Benin remains amongst the best institutions in Africa.
The University of Benin must take it upon itself to show the world the things that make Benin great, the arts, the culture. All of those things must take their bearings from this great university.
The high point was the presentation of certificates and prizes to best graduating students in various faculties and departments of the school. From Benin, Wellington Akodeja, ITV News.
The National Association of Nigeria Nurses and Midwives, Edo State Council, has held its 2025 Nurses Week and Scientific Conference in Benin City. This year's theme, Our Nurses, Our Future, Caring for Nurses Strengthens Economies, underscores the critical role of nurses in national development. Pius Nsogo has the details.
The event was declared open by Edo State Commissioner for Labor and Productivity, Mr. Godwin Eshishe, who pledged his ministry's commitment to formulating policies and programs that prioritize staff safety and well-being. He assured that measures will be implemented to safeguard healthcare workers.
I want to also assure you that the state government will never subject you to any punitive denial of your basic entitlement.
In his welcome address, the chairman, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Edo State, Comrade Olise Chukwunedum Francis, expressed gratitude for the successful organization of the conference and emphasized that investing in nurses is essential for a strong and sustainable healthcare system.
Thank our executive governor who has approved that the 810 nursing graduates in AAU be inducted this year.
Keynote speaker, Professor Ngozi Osunde, Dean of the Faculty of Nursing Science at Wellspring University, Benin City, delivered a thought-provoking address on the importance of empowering nurses, which earned him praises from participants.
The nurse is the heartbeat of the health industry, the lifeline of every health system, and it will play a very vital role.
The event also featured goodwill messages from prominent personalities and organizations, highlighting the pivotal role nurses play in improving healthcare outcomes and driving national growth.
Learned a lot.
The 2025 Nurses Week Conference provided a platform to advocate for the care and well-being of nurses, demonstrating how supporting healthcare professionals is key to strengthening both the economy and the nation's healthcare system. From Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
A Benin High Court has delivered judgments in favor of Professor Tess Sori, founder and managing director of Timeline Industrial Companies, in a parcel of land measuring 1,000 by 3,000 feet at Iwu community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. Wellington Akodeja reports that the presiding judge of High Court 12, Honorable Justice A.T. Momodu, gave the judgment after 3 years of litigation and the actual ownership of the vast acres of land.
Judiciary, they say, is the last hope of the common man. This played out in the land dispute between Eda, Professor Tess Sori, and Billy Efionayi Adams Uwegbe, Friday Igage, and 8 others in the suit number HCOK/60/2019. Eda Tess Sori versus Billy Efionayi and 11 others. The presiding judge, Honorable Justice A. Momodu, said counsel to the claimant and defendants presented their cases and points of submission. Justice Momodu, delivering his judgment, said evidence before the court shows clearly the true ownership of the parcel of land measuring 1,000 feet by 3,000 with a valid certificate of occupancy from Edo State government. Further said anyone who has built the parcel of lands does so out of ignorance and therefore ruled that Professor Tess Sori is the rightful owner of the parcel of land. Counsel to the claimant, Barrister Lucky Alenke, commended the judgment, while counsel to the defendant, Barrister Lawani, declined comment on the matter.
Judge have carefully listened to both parties and that the land upon which the government of Edo State had issued a certificate of occupancy belonged to the claimant. Therefore, the claimant was within his right to have filed this action for trespass.
On his part, Professor Tess Sori appreciated the judiciary for a job well done.
It's unfortunate that the people that were dealing with me, one of them was my PA for 41 years, and the other boy drove me for 38 years. I don't doubt God. God is still the same. He has not changed address. So that is my own opinion. I'm grateful that I've won this case.
From Benin, Wellington Akodeja, ITV News.
In another report, the Uwonde Local Government Council has commenced the demolition of illegal structures along the bypass corridor, citing public safety concerns. Council Chairman Honorable Austin Imafidon led the operation, emphasizing that the exercise aims to prevent road accidents and safeguard lives, especially as the festive period approaches. Oluwafemi Farayola has details.
The demolition follows a 14-day evacuation notice and a subsequent 3-day reminder notice issued to structure owners. The Environmental and Sanitation Task Force Committee, supported by heavy-duty equipment, is overseeing the clearing process. Honorable Imafidon emphasized that the demolition exercise is driven solely by the need to safeguard lives and prevent avoidable road accidents. He reiterated that public safety remains a top priority of his administration. According to Honorable Imafidon, the council will launch a comprehensive beautification project along the bypass in the first quarter of next year to enhance aesthetics and orderliness.
We intend to make this place a green area. It's going to be a long-term plan. It starts from somewhere, so hopefully we'll kick off by next year. But before we do that, we have to make sure this place is cleared for us to take off.
Council Chairman Honorable Imafidon led the operation in company of the Environmental and Sanitation Task Force Committee led by Mr. Lucky Asemota. The head of Department for Environment, Mrs. Nogwese Omorogbe, and other departmental staff were on ground to ensure strict and successful enforcement of the directive.
We gave them 14 days notice. As a last, we gave them 48 hours again. Some of them removed their house, some did not comply. That is why we are removing the structure now. The plan is we are going to do clearing, evacuation of refuse.
A relatively illegal structure here, they are even in danger. We are doing everything possible to beautify the environment. Our plan is to make sure things are well done at the right place to meet up to the 5-point agenda of Edo State Governor.
Heavy-duty equipment, including tractors, tippers, and payloaders, were deployed to facilitate the clearing process.
They beg Governor, my brother, therefore he make provision for us. May he help me out, may solve me, I might see where I stay.
Oluwafemi Falayola, ITV News.
With that, we've come to the end of the AM News on Independent Television. I am Chukufum Nanya Digwe. Thank you for watching. Good morning.
TV, certainly the best.